Hi everyone, welcome to this heart dissection. Here we have a lamb's heart. It's very similar in size to a human heart, which remember is about the size of your fist. I'm going to be taking you through a heart dissection. We'll be looking at the chambers as well as the various vessels which feed into and out of the heart. Just to begin with though, have a look at the coronary artery here. It's encapsulated in this fat layer. Remember that the coronary artery is responsible for providing the heart with its own oxygen supply. It allows aerobic respiration to take place and it releases the energy required to enable that heart to pump constantly throughout your entire lifetime. The coronary artery, remember, is susceptible to fatty deposits known as an atheroma. This is due to unhealthy lifestyles high in saturated fat, if you smoke, stress, a sedentary lifestyle. These are all factors which can increase your likelihood of getting coronary heart disease. So if we have a close-up of the heart, you can see the coronary artery coming down here. This is known as the apex. We've had the top of the heart sliced off, so you can't see the atrium that clearly, but you can see the various vessels which enter and leave the heart. I'm going to take my first incision running parallel to the coronary artery. Just give the heart a little bit of a light touch. You'll notice that this part feels thicker than this one. This means we're entering the wall of the left ventricle. Remember that the wall of the left ventricle has more muscle, is thicker than that of the right, and that's because the left ventricle is pumping blood all around the body, whereas the right ventricle simply pumps blood to the lungs. Taking a nice incision straight through the left ventricle. You can already begin to see that ventricle opening up. Now I'll take a pair of scissors. Now notice these small stringy tissues. These are tendons which help hold the bicuspid, otherwise known as the left atrioventricular valves, in place. Now the role of the bicuspid valves, or the left atrioventricular valves, is to prevent backflow of blood into the left atrium. This ensures that blood flows in the correct direction around the heart. As I poke my finger through to here, I can see that it will exit in the left atrium. Remember, this therefore must be the pulmonary vein. Pulmonary, remember, means relating to the lungs. This vessel is bringing oxygenated blood from the lungs. Just to point out the aorta, now remember the aorta leaves the left ventricle, so as I poke my finger through there, you can see it's reaching the bottom of that left ventricle. The aorta is the main artery of the body. As I said, it leaves the left ventricle, transporting oxygenated blood to other parts of the body. Remember the structure of the aorta. It has the characteristic arterial walls made up of thick muscle and elastic fibers. It has a comparatively narrow lumen when compared with veins, and this enables a large pressure to be built up to help pump blood around the body. Now I'm cutting through the right side of the heart. Opening that up, we can see the right ventricle. We've got a blood clot here. Here you've got more tendons which will be attaching to the tricuspid valves. The tricuspid valves are responsible for preventing backflow of blood into the right atrium. It ensures blood flows from the right ventricle into the pulmonary artery. Remember, the pulmonary artery is unusual in that it is deoxygenated. Most arteries are oxygenated. That's because it's transporting deoxygenated blood to the lung. There's a layer of muscle separating the left and right side of the heart. This is known as the septum, and that prevents oxygenated and deoxygenated blood from mixing. This increases the efficiency of the heart, making sure that only oxygenated blood is delivered around the body, whilst only deoxygenated blood is returned to the lungs. In the wall of the right atrium, you'll find the pacemaker, the sinoatrial node. This is responsible for initiating each heartbeat.